Welcome back to Coach's Corner. It's now time to talk Ponca City High School football. Again, with Labor Day last week, we did not have a show, so we're going to kind of catch you up a little bit. Last time we talked to Coach Fry, Wildcats had yet to play a game. Now we hit week 3, and Ponca is 0-2 and head for Shawnee this week for week 3 in the final non-district game of the season. For Ponca City, the Wildcats opened with a close loss to Sepulpa 2 weeks ago, and then this past Friday, powerful Guthrie came to Sullivan Stadium and beat our Wildcats 43-7. It should be said, though, Sepulpa and Guthrie combined are now 4-0, and Coach, pretty tough competition to start the season with.
It was. I mean, you turn around with Sepulpa, and like I said, they have a great offense, and it showed. And we're trying to, second half we came out and had to play catch up and just ran out of time. So, and then against Guthrie, they've got a great program. They're coached well. They got great athletes, and you mix all those together, and it's good scenario for good football. And they did that. I was upset with them, with our kids, that they didn't come out physically and mentally, ready to go. So we're going to have to straighten that up, and hopefully put a better product on the field this week against Shawnee, who's they're 0-2 also, but they played Bartlesville and they played Edmond Deer Creek, and they got a big old back, about 6'1", 220, and we're going to have to shut him down. And if we don't tackle him better than we have the last 2 weeks, it's going to be a long night.
Well, let's go to Friday's game with Guthrie, which was interesting, especially in the first half, where the final score 43-7 may not be indicative of really how close the ball game was early on. Ponca took a 7-6 lead, and then had ample opportunities, Coach, in the second quarter to either take the lead or get closer. Missed some opportunities, and good teams like Guthrie, they really make you pay for every mistake you make.
That's right, and when you play somebody with the caliber of team that they have, if you don't capitalize on the offensive, plays that we have and do something to score, or at least keep the ball out of their hands, it's going to turn bad, and that's what happened to us. We didn't block, or we didn't catch the balls we were supposed to. We didn't run the right routes, and you put all three that goes together, and it's not a good combination. So, we didn't do a bunch of things right, but after you watch the film, I mean, we're getting better defensively. We're in the right spot defensively, and so we're just going to keep working and working and working to try to get better. So, it's over Friday night, so we started Saturday morning on the Shawnee Wolves. So, but going back to Guthrie, I mean, they have so many athletes that can hurt you somewhere else. I mean, they had some, the brother's kid, they had him at defensive end, and they dropped him back in coverage a bunch, and he just out-jump you, out-athlete you, and we didn't take advantage of who else was open, and then we didn't catch the ball, and then we didn't block the right people. So then Brent was on the run. So it all those things, it just wasn't a good conducive to a good football game.
Well, it should be said too that I can think of 3 plays where if they don't have a great athlete, if we catch the ball, we probably convert it. So sometimes you say that the other team made plays, and they did make great plays. We didn't play as well, I didn't think,
no,
against Guthrie as we did the first week. But that being said, you defend the defense a little bit because they were on the field all night against Guthrie. There was a lot of 3-and-outs, and when you play a powerful team like that, eventually they're just going to be able to control the clock and control the game as well.
You're right, and when we go 3-and-out and have to punt and have the defense come back on the field, it's not good, and that's what happened a bunch Friday night, and eventually their athletes are going to make plays, and then one little miss up on our part is just like put under a microscope. It's just big, and then here the ball starts rolling. So you get that snowball effect going downhill. But we just got to keep. And I know these kids, they practice hard, they go out and work hard, and shoot, we're out there till 5:30 every night, and trying to do this and trying to do that, and the kids just need a W. I mean, to help them, and we've got to get one, Phil, somehow, some way, and we're gonna try like Dickens, this week to get one against the Wolves.
Well, that was a non-district game Friday night. First week was a non-district game, and this week is a non-district. Final 7 games are the most important game that determine whether you make the playoffs. That being said, this is a very important, quote, non-district game as we travel to Shawnee. They're 0-2. They came into our house last year, though, Coach, and got a victory over us. So I know that no matter what the records are, everybody's a dangerous opponent right now.
It is. I mean, and you're exactly right. I mean, anybody we play is dangerous, and you know we've got to go getting ready for district. We've got to tune up, and we've got to play better this week than we did last week, which evidently we've got. We got to. I mean, can't play any worse, I don't think. So, we got to get the momentum going into district, because after this week we turn around and got Enid starting the district. So, and that's when it all counts on the playoff situation and all that. So that's what we're looking for, and we just got to get these young men better and better and keep in their head. And it's a team sport. It's not an individual sport. We're fighting that a little bit. So we're we've got to just get them be redundant, but we got to get them better and better each practice and each week.
I'll tell you another thing you're fighting is you play some of these 5A schools or 6A schools that are smaller, and people don't understand Guthrie may be a 5A school, but they have big 6A talent. And then Shawnee, again, one of the smaller 6A schools, Rob, but they too have gone through a great string of athletes, maybe not now quite what they were 3 or 4 years ago, but these schools all have good players. It doesn't matter whether they're 5A, whether we're bigger than they are or they're bigger than we are. These schools all have good players.
Oh, they all do, and that's why we're playing them. I mean, I've had people ask me why we don't play somebody else, but it's either Shawnee or Guthrie or travel to Muskogee or Broken Arrow. So it's easier to just get on 35 and go, or just go down 77. So, but Shawnee, they're all excited. After this year, they're going back to 5A, and I talked to Coach Brown down there, and with that type of athletes they have. They know in 5A that they've got a chance, to get in the playoffs, to go deep in the playoffs, and in 6A shoot fire. That if you're not, you got to go through Union and Jinx and Midwest City. So it's tough, and it does wear on the kids. I mean, you can ask, Coach Brown down there at Shawnee, it's wearing on his kids, and they've got some athletes, and with the light at the end of the tunnel after this year, going back to 5A, they're feeling better about themselves, and they can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So, But yeah, I mean, they've got great athletes. Yeah, they're 0-2, but they're starting a bunch of young kids that didn't play last year, and we hope they don't get it going this week. We hope they wait till district time.
At least one more week
right,
anyway.
You betcha.
Well, Ponca begins a pretty rough 2-week stretch. We go on the road 2 more times in a row before we come back home to Sullivan Stadium this week against Shawnee, and then the next week against Enid. And then the Wildcats will have 3 of their 5 road games already out of the way, not even at the halfway point of the season. So if you're wondering when the Cats are going to be back, 3 weeks. We're back home when we hit the halfway point of the season. That sounds funny, but here we are. We're already a third of the way through this.
Right, and you're exactly right. It goes by in a hurry. We sit there and think, holy cow, what we got to do? And then you look up, and it's 3rd game of the season. We've got things we've got to do, and things have gone by, and we sit there, well, we got to get this in. No, we don't. We need to get this in, and yeah, it goes faster than we think it does. And our spouses probably don't think so, because we're never home, and when we are home, and when we're 0-2, we're not in a good mood and all that stuff. So, right now the only people that love us and the household are kids, because they don't know any better. So, it's going on quick, and that's what I try to tell these seniors. And guys, your senior year will go by like wildfires, and it like the wind blowing them. So. It's brutal.
Coach, good luck to you. We'll see you Friday night in Shawnee. We hope you'll make your plans to go down and support the Wildcats. For Coach Fry, Phil Turney on this week's edition of Coach's Corner.